Welcome back to Project Ozone 2, Episode 19. As you maybe saw in the thumbnail, I have a few of these Neutron Collectors set up in front of me. That is the recipe there. I'm not exactly sure of the timing. I think it's every 6 or 7 minutes or so. A pile of neutron comes in, you compress them down into nuggets, and then you compress those down into ingots. However, neutrons, neutroniums, all that jazz, that's not the topic of today's video. All that's a massive waiting game for me at this point. I collected some footage the past week or so. Let's call it endgame preparations. So let's just have a quick peek at this then. I mean, obviously this part's the obnoxious part. Gold, aluminum, mana. That's actually kind of expensive too. I'm really sad you can't make an RF dimension out of that. Finding these soul crystals is probably the worst part in the pack, I would think. We need 16. Okay, that happened really quickly, actually. And then we need... I guess we're still making that, but all I need is 16 of these. No, I need 4 of these, rather, sorry. So we have to put the heart down. Probably have to turn off my magnet first, I guess. Okay, so magnet's off. We throw the heart down. We've activated it. And then we got to throw these down quickly. Okay, that's cool. I seriously don't have Draconium unlocked yet. I think I have to unlock this stuff down here for me to actually get Draconium properly. Because yeah, actually all this stuff here should be unlocked. Maybe I'll tidy these up today. Oh, they're not even 10 yet. They're literally just basic seeds. That's rough. Look at this old base. It's been forever since I've been standing here at these seeds. It doesn't seem like it's doing anything. I wonder if I can add just one of those growth pulsars. Can I afford that? Because here's the imaginary time block like you said. Oh, look at that. It's already growing. Okay, so put that there. So now I'm going to need how many of these cores? I'm going to need 4 of them. So can the system make 4 of them? It cannot. So that tells me there's a few things I'm going to have to improve then. I'm also going to need, so I'm going to need more cows. So on a redstone high, we want to craft those. And then that means we want to ask for, I don't know, 5,000. Emit when levels are below. Okay, so let's put a couple acceleration cards in because that's going pretty slow. 240. There we go. It looks like it's finally time. I might have to fight one guy actually. Oh no. Okay, so we got those 6. Plus I might as well pick up this crate because it can come with me as long as I don't destroy it. You know what? Maybe I'll just take the items out. Okay, let's make this Philosopher Stone. It's about time there's some meaningful progression made. Are you kidding me? I have to place everything manually? Is that not kind of obnoxious? Those items have just been sitting there forever, waiting for me to finally do this. Victory. Wow. I've never made this before. Well, that's cool. That's actually kind of a really cool visual. Oh, I'm glad I don't have to remake that armor. That would have annoyed me. That's probably the best reward I've ever gotten in this pack. Just getting applied energistics cables. So a lot of junk. And I don't know what the point of this thing is. Mining level. Oh, It's like an instant hit. I don't know how I feel about that thing. I wonder what's wrong with this quest book. That I can't scroll. Oh, now it works. Oh, it's gone. It also has the ability to stabilize monster spawners by turning them into stabilized mob spawners. It's done by simply using the core on a spawner. So here's a question. How do you change the spawner? Those might just be the worst loot chests I've ever seen. Well, I feel like this is worth recording. We got the tier 9 rocket behind me. It's pretty beefy. Launchpad 3. And am I even loading any fuel in this thing yet? Hit F. We got no fuel. Okay. I don't like how when I get out it changes my perspective. So if we do load, but for some reason... Actually, this can probably go right here. So Pluto is the last one I was at. Erebus. That's actually, or Eris is actually where I have to get some stuff. I think it's dark iron I need, and it says tile.eris. And I need that for the next step. Ultimate refinery. I wonder what that's for. Maybe it's the plates that I need. Oh yes, it's the plates. Tier 10. I don't think we have to get tier 10. Oh, this button here. Yes. Okay, I don't know what that is. If I hit O, Neutron Compressor, okay. This guy, the Neutron Collector. I need a bunch of dark iron. I'm not sure where to get the Dark Cloud. I think maybe the Nether, but I'm not sure. The rest of this actually doesn't look too bad. This looks really achievable, actually. One thing I like right off the bat is there's no water. It's very difficult to see the dungeon tunnel or shaft in water on the minimap. What is that? Is that just bad terrain gen, or is that something? That does not... it does, but it doesn't. Let's inspect. Aha, you know what? Look at that. Maybe that is something. What an obnoxious color, I will say that. I like it. I really hope there's a mob in here that I can kill, like a boss. Oh, good lord. I'm pretty confident I'll win. Oh, these guys again? At least I know how to kill you this time. I got confident there, and now I don't know what's up. Do I gotta hit him again? Ooh. Oh, do we gotta reflect with the sword? Cool. And that is how you beat extra planets. Oh, so there is a tier 10 rocket. Interesting. You can change the config file for better questing for the size of the GUI. I never thought to do that, but I was getting annoyed because I could not scroll down to click on like Kappa, Lambda, mu, or whatever this one is. Good time for State of the Union now, though, now that I can see everything. Everything on this page is done. This is renewable. I guess it's to get an extra life every 8 days, some story. I need a couple more runes to get made. Lust and Envy, that's fun. This stuff's just kind of a side quest I don't feel like doing right now. This part's frustrating because I've made all of this stuff. So maybe it'll get complete if I complete a few of them. Because I actually have made this. I guess I didn't make that. It's kind of annoying. It wants you to make both tiers. I need to make this actually. That's actually the thing I should work on next. Flux Crystal. This stuff's done. I'm just a matter of it's a time game. I gotta wait for the essence to roll in to make the demon steel. We are on tier 7, I thought. I guess not. Tier 6. I need to finish these. These also have to get automated. I just have to do that. I cannot find that guy. That is a huge spider. So this is done. I just finished tier 9 rocket today, and I've got the dark iron from the Eris island. I guess I can start picking away at some of these. Decent progress into Draconic. And then Mew is just the Neutron Collector, which is what I am working on right now. Apparently you have to make stacks and stacks and stacks of this. Like 128 should be the absolute minimum for my goal here. So this is the dark iron I was just talking about on Eris. This stuff is fine. We actually have a decent supply of nether stars now. I don't know where to get that. Plutonium, I should have quite a bit of that from the reactors. Reprocessing the cyanide waste. All that straightforward. This is just getting back into mana. Mana shouldn't be an issue. I need to automate that. Totally doable. And I think my plan's going to be, I'm going to go over here and ME interface with the card. See how I said, give me 10 of those, and it's got 10 there. I'm going to go through and ask for the ME interface to supply me all these ingredients. And then I'm just going to come here and I guess manually place them in. And I think these crafting tables, I think they're cheap. I mean, relatively. Unfortunately, it seems to have really high spawn rates, way higher than that dark iron. We might as well just tell all the blue ore to get sent there. We just gotta turn off our magnet because we're dumb. Oh, I wish that didn't happen. Oh, it's locked. Ooh, that's a misplay. That should be some kind of a chest. Perhaps a crate? Crates are kind of nice, actually. So let's panic here. What was I trying to make with it? Cores? Dragon cores. We need 16 to do another one of them auto crafts. Yeah, so this worked pretty decent for getting me... Give me all those. Trying not to vein mine the base here accidentally. This pickaxe is too fast for me at times. Yeah, the crop sticks run out, so I should stop using this farm. You can stop running. All these got 10, 10, 10, which is like wild. I'll grab a couple stacks just to have for safekeeping. So let's just keep layering this, I guess. Seems like a waste of Draconium, sort of, kind of, not really. Boop. And what? I guess you are going to have a pulsator and you're going to have a pulsator? Not really a good design that way, because these are kind of in the way. But maybe I'll get that imaginary growth thing. Imaginary. Yeah, we just need a way to We need the animation wand, I think, before I make a bunch of those. 520,000 of that. Emit above, right? Okay, cool. So that's going to be harvesting now. Nether star. Boom. Pop you in there. Give you a filter. Throw the heart down. Give it a tap. I think I can just throw these down right away. Wow. Ooh, look at those particles. So I decided I needed a bigger reactor, and it is, if we go into F9 here, we are the full 32 by 32 inside these 4 chunks. And I guess the tape measure I can see is still active over there. So if I do this, this should be like, what, 17? It's my favorite thing about modding. When you click on the one block with the wrong mod and they're not compatible. Tinkers is bad for that. I learned this from watching Hypnotize, but there's this really cool FluiVac thing. Drums. I don't know which one it's going to select first. So if I hit C, okay, so that's, it literally picks the first one maybe, which is kind of a cool way of doing it. Okay, that is actually pretty slick how that works. So I'm going to Google and look on Reddit. There's a good chance a turbine might end up here too, a max size turbine over here. Alright, this is a really wicked dimension here. Let's eat this carrot. I needed thorium, so my little Dimlet tab, what do they call it here? That's the realized dimension tab. So here's the empty Dimlet. Cheap to make. All I gave it was a tendril feature, thorium material, which is very tough to get. And what else did I give it? Can't remember. Oh, effect none. They didn't want to have bad effects. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, the ocean of Stellarium's kind of weird. I wonder if it hurts me. It does. So that checks out. I think it only costs like 3 million RF, so it's pretty cheap. So I think I'm just going to grab a bunch of this. Okay, 5,000 thorium. I can't expect to need that much more. The main reason is this rod here requires this thorium dust, and you need it for a few of these. I should be good for a little while. If not, I know I can make this and it's pretty cheap. Oh, it automatically gets processed. Oh no, I hope that's not using all my cinnabar. Okay, good. Not. Why did I think I needed mercury? I don't need any mercury. Oh yeah, the drive, of course. Oh yeah, of course these things. And then the extreme, what's the last one? This guy. Oh, okay, so I'm gonna need a few. Okay, let's take this out. Let's extract this. Now I would love it if I could do. Well, if it's a default controller, we shouldn't have to do anything else, right? I don't really know how this works. You're gonna go in there. Are you gonna get realized pretty quick? Okay, it must be pretty cheap. Still got my field generator. We're at 100%. It only costs 100,000. Wow, instead of like 11 million. Okay, so we're gonna go here. We're gonna dial it once to 45. I would just love this stuff right here. Oh, thorium. Oh, I didn't know thorium spawned naturally, just not in my world. Okay. That's good to know. I didn't know chance cube spawned down below either. We need the absorber. You have to go on top. Okay. If you place all this down, it's instant. Okay, neat. We're at 4%. I think this is definitely the way to do it. This should be, I would think, close to 50%. 90, 100%, okay. How do you know how to build this thing? Okay, so we need a base part, and then we need a rarity 4. And then how do I know if it's a regular energy or an advanced energy? Okay, so there's no dimlet here, so that tells me we need to bump up the energy, and if we bump up the memory, it worked. Okay, so it's just trial and error is what it seems. A dimensional shard ore. Okay, that is huge. Oh, this is cool. This is cool. Put this magnet card back on. There's a hotkey for enabling and disabling that. I do not know what it is. This is the point in the mod pack that I'm like, I've never got to before. Like in general, any mod pack, getting to the point where you can just fab up a dimension like this is insane. I don't think I've ever done RFTools like this before. I'm gonna resume filling this up. I'll probably check out some Reddit guides, some YouTube videos, and see what everybody else does. For starters, though, actually the whole reason I got off on that side quest was I need to make, gotta keep the cursor up here to type, at Reactor, I need a bunch of the fuel rods, which is this, which is a bunch of uranium. Okay, so we've got 500 uranium. And if we really needed to, we could make a uranium dimlet, it sounds like. But they're like 3 tall, so that's like 1200. There's no way the game's going to make me make that many control rods, is there? Jumping back to present day here, we got the big reactor, unfinished, not full, and no turbine yet. I've kind of decided just to leave the big reactor in this stage. It burns a lot of yellorium, which is good because it processes cyanide for me, which then I guess I turn to plutonium, which is used for some late game crafting. So that's a good spot for that to be. It creates enough juice for me to power my RFTools dimensions for, I don't know, 15 minutes or so before I start taking damage on the shield, which is lots of time to vein mine stuff. Like if we look at Emerald, for instance, I actually had a builder's quarry set up in a Emerald world, grabbing just Emerald blocks, which is pretty sweet. I didn't realize it, but I guess this is the key for EMC, is to make a flat world of Emerald blocks. I guess in closing, it's been just over the year I've had this world. Maybe 13, 14 months, something like that. I started last August 2023. I gotta say, it's pretty rewarding to have a world this old, a modded world, and have it be this stable. You can see Dimension 0. It's running fine. There's not much going on in the overworld anymore, especially after I disabled all that logistics pipes. But we are now in Dimension 77. I'm at that stage of the game here looking at the quest book, the Mew tab, that we can start trying to think about making singularities, which is basically taking 43,000 blocks of various things to make this infinity catalyst. So it's a waiting game. So right now my goal is to try to, you know, look on Reddit for the tips to optimize, because there's definitely a right and a wrong way to do things at this stage, so I got to figure that stuff out. But a big thing is going to be time. I'm thinking about putting the single player world on another computer I have at the house, put it on my basement TV. If I throw up a server, I can let it run and accumulate resources. And one of the things I also wanted to do was make the system autocraft stuff for me passively. And I've done this a lot, but I kind of like this design, and I want to make a video of it because it wouldn't be the first time that I had to look back on a world to see the way I set something up. So that's what's kind of cool about having the YouTube footage. What I like most about this design is it's 100% channel usage. There's no waste. Let's look at the brown tower first here. If we have these emitters, like for instance, I've got these photo cells for solar panels set at 10,000, and then of course the same standard redstone craft configurations here. So it's exporting those items back into itself recursively to autocraft them. And each interface gives you 4 different recipes you can program in. Like here's a tier 3. Well, that's cool. So that allows for, 4 recipes times 4 is what, 16 recipes. And you can double it for 32. So you'd have 64. And then on here, I could do 128 is kind of the idea. So if we look at this P2P tunnel, because overall right now, the way I have it set up, we have 3 P2P tunnels. We have one for the brown tower, one for the white tower, and then one for an auxiliary network that is actually going to talk to all the interfaces, if that makes sense. And we're actually only using 2 channels. Sorry, we're using 8 because the 4 interfaces here and the 4 interfaces here is 8. So then those 2 towers would be 16, and then these would be 32. But notice the brown cables are using the full 32 channels as well, and same with the white, because it's using, I guess, what, 16 emitters for 16 export buses is 32. And the reason everything's colored is just so the cables don't connect. You can use those cable anchors to make sure things don't connect, but I just prefer, I think the cables look cleaner, the different colors. When they're off, I know, okay, the system's satisfied, but when they're on, it either means we don't have enough, the system's waiting on some resource, so I can go in and, figure out what's locked up, or in this case, I know I've configured nothing on this tower. Well, back to more mindless grinding.